Hell's Kitchen will take its final bow on Broadway this Sunday.
All right, and back in the role of Davis in the Tony and Grammy Award-winning musical is Brandon Victor Dixon. The multi-talented performer's resume is like a who's who
honey.
of what you would want to see. Some of Broadway's biggest shows. Motown the Musical, The Color Purple, Aaron Burr in Hamilton. Of course, he's also been on TV, appeared in Power, Best Man in Final Chapters. This weekend, he joins Alicia Keys and the original cast in a farewell event for Hell's Kitchen, and he is here with the can't-be-missed details of this big finale.
Unbelievable. Please welcome Grammy Award winner, Tony and Emmy Award nominee, Brandon Victor Dixon.
Yeah.
Hey!
The man.
So good to see you.
Good to see you
Thank you
as
so
well.
much.
Hey, nice to see you, man. Welcome.
Your hands are nice and
Have
warm.
a seat, hang out.
Thank
He is.
you.
He is nice and toasty.
I don't know if you've ever been told that before. You're nice and toasty.
I actually have.
Okay. All right.
You know, and I've got the coat on. So,
That's
you know.
right. That's right. That's right. This show is unbelievable. I was just telling JD, I laughed, I cried. I don't know what I was crying about, but it was like they were tears of joy.
Emotions.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. You're stepping back into your role of Davis for this final weekend. What is going on in your mind?
I'm just happy, one, to be back on Broadway. It's always a celebration to be on Broadway, and I'm happy to be celebrating this wonderful story, this wonderful music. And you know, our show is really, it's a coming of age story, and it is about kind of the fact that it takes a village, right? It takes a village to raise somebody. You get out what you pour in. That goes with children, our neighborhoods, our neighbors. It's such a quintessential New York story and American story, so I love it.
I mean, obviously, you've got a lot of Broadway experience. You've done a lot of stuff. So I'm well, you do. I mean, come on.
He was singing all of your songs.
I was thinking you and I would do a little Dear Theodosia, but that's for later. When you originally got Hell's Kitchen, when you originally looked at the role of Dave, what did you think? What was going through your mind? It's hard to know if a show's going to be a success, right?
It is, but there were a few, lesser-known elements associated with the show that gave me, an inkling that it could do well. Being that it's Alicia's show and that it was loosely based on her life, but Alicia's music has such an emotional narrative core to it anyway that I thought it would very much translate well to the Broadway stage.
Yeah. What was it like to collaborate with the Alicia Keys?
It was very special. I've long been a huge fan of hers. And Alicia is very much a collaborator. She's such a wonderful musician. And so to watch her take her music and really mold it and adapt it to the various artists that are in our cast was a joyful and special experience. And I think also just a testament to the quality of her work that her music translates so well to the variety of artists who are in the show.
Yeah.
You're doing a special, like you and the original cast and Alicia Keys, you're doing a special encore on Saturday. Tell me a little bit about what that's going to look like.
Well, every now and again, Alicia will show up to the theater and have these little encore concerts after the production has happened. And so this final one before we close will be with myself and our original mother and daughter, Malia Joy Moon and Shoshana Bean. And so Alicia's going to do some music with the three of us. It's going to be a really fantastic time. If you haven't got tickets, try and get in there.
I feel myself getting all wet.
I know.
This girl is on fire.
She is. That's just a hot flash. It's okay.
I am 51, so I'm fully in perimenopause. We're both
very comfortable relationship.
We're both toasty for different reasons. No, but I remember when I went to go see the show, it was like, is that her? Is that her? And my husband was like, is that? I said, yes, that's Alicia Keys. She's here.
Stop whispering.
You're the one who outed her.
She's the one.
The culprit.
Do you feel a little emotional, a little bittersweet, like you're putting a button on something that you put so much of your life into, so much of your artistry? How's it feel?
Well, I left the show already.
Yeah.
So for me, I've kind of been through mine.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of young artists in our show making their Broadway debuts. And so I feel connected to their experience and to the kind of their celebration of this big Broadway experience they've had. And they get to take all the lessons and move forward and with their career. That's what I celebrate.
Yeah.
And you're very busy. Like you said, you left the show, you're coming back. Your own music, can we talk about that?
We can.
Please. Hotel California, a new rendition?
Yes, a new rendition of Hotel California, available on all platforms.
So you know. Yeah.
Get it out there. Get it out there.
It's an orchestral version, so it's like it definitely honors the original, but it's a kind of a broader expansion of the music that's there. I had to get permission.
I was gonna say.
So it's of a certain quality. So check it out.
Not like us, because we don't have the licensing to anything.
We don't. Whatever we sang earlier, for sure, we're gonna hear about that later on.
Zero permission.
Zero permission.
Zero permission.
Okay, before you go, we want to
Yeah.
play a little trivia game with you, and that trivia game is called "What in the Hell's Kitchen Do You Know?" We paid extra for that musical. That musical sting, the whole 9 yards.
Okay, so
This is not a tough game. Trust me, you're okay.
there are no trick questions. Okay, so we'll ask you a question, you answer it. If you can, if you can't, it's fine. We'll give you a New York Living mug.
Yeah.
No stakes.
For your
No
pain and
stakes.
suffering. Okay. Hell's Kitchen, the musical, is inspired by the life and music of which 17-time Grammy Award-winning artist?
Alicia Keys.
Ding, 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 ding. We couldn't afford the ding, 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 ding. We spent all our money. Oh, we did. We have a cheering crowd.
And the crowd goes wild.
Nothing
We
but
have
the best
PAs
for
in the
you.
corner.
We don't
What is the name of the building on West 43rd Street in Manhattan that was that housed artists of all kinds?
Manhattan Plaza.
Ding, 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 ding.
It's like this man knows his stuff.
Ah.
Okay, this one. A little
This was a
tricky.
surprise to both of
so
us.
Which actor who has starred in the Avenger movies, Pulp Fiction, and Shaft lived and once worked in Manhattan Plaza? He's got a very booming voice.
Starred in the Avengers movies and
Pulp
Shaft.
Fiction
Oh.
and Shaft.
I'm assuming we're going for Samuel L. Jackson.
Say what again? Yeah, exactly. Samuel L. Jackson.
Of Long Kiss Goodnight fame.
And is that when you think of Sam Jackson?
One of
you
my
think
favorites.
Long Kiss
All-time
Goodnight?
favorites.
Wow. It is there is, by the way, there is no correct or incorrect answer to this.
Correct.
It's a matinee day in between shows. Where do you eat in Hell's Kitchen?
I tend to eat in my dressing room. I'll make my dinner, my lunch, and I'll bring them to the theater.
Excuse you.
I'm a economical young man.
Well, that makes
well raised by my parents.
Excellent.
Conserved.
Excellent. You're not going to tell. Is it a salad? Is it leftover meatballs? What are we
You know,
doing?
lately it's been like quinoa, piece of fish, and some bone
I
broth.
knew you were going to say bone broth.
And then a peanut butter and jelly on the side.
Because, you know, we all have our vices. PB&J. Don't be ridiculous.
Little quinoa,
Never gets old. Never gets old.
little bean broth. That's what I'm missing. That's why I'm not a Broadway star yet.
Start having that bone broth. Brandon, thank you. Brandon Victor Dixon, congratulations on everything you're doing and have done, and thank you for spending time with us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great having you here. Good luck. Oh, look, folks, you have now through Sunday to see Hell's Kitchen on Broadway at the Schubert Theater. Great Saturday encore session
right.
with Alicia Keys. So good.
Fantastic.